Hi, welcome to Geeky Discoveries. And I was going to go live on TikTok, and I realized the way that I was going to do it like last time, you guys wouldn't be able to hear my guest unless I somehow figure out a way to hook it up to my computer, which I haven't figured out yet. Anyway, welcome. It is Batman Day, and I realize I haven't been on in a while. Life has been kind of hectic, job wise and personal life, but that's okay. I am here. You guys are here. It's going to be a fantastic show, and we're going to be talking about Batman. Let's bring up my guest, Hollis.
Hey,
How's it going?
it's going well, Skylar. How about you?
I am good. I'm good. So I'm sure you're as big of a Batman fan as I am.
I'm confident that we have that in common.
I'm sure you have just as much toys as I do as well. So,
Yeah, I think if we start doing that game of like
I
pull
know.
out the toys, we'll be here all night.
When what can I show tonight?
Oh,
I decided not to bring out the Lego Batmobiles, so rest assured I do have them. But one of my prized possessions is the Gotham City badge.
that is so
Police
cool.
badge. Yeah. So yeah, I was lucky enough to when I went to one of my favorite collectible places, it was in the case. I'm like, I must have that.
I can relate.
So what is your favorite toy that you have?
Oh, that's a hard thing. So, so here's the deal. I have to say, I do not like actively buy action figures and toys anymore. Sadly,
Anymore?
yeah,
You have
sadly,
to.
as a college professor with a mortgage to pay, I don't do that anymore. What I do
understand.
instead is like I go through like these streaks of watching YouTube videos of other people, not me, like unboxing action figures, and like I live vicariously through them. And
Oh,
I'm like, good. So now I don't have to buy it myself because I can just watch you
I know
unbox
the
it.
sideshow figurines are insane with the detail, and I'm just like, one of these days I'll win the lottery, and all the money's gonna go just because to one thing.
Yes, yes. Okay, but I have to say, like, um, so here's the thing. Batman is one of my all-time favorite superheroes ever, and I'm a big superhero nerd, so that means a lot saying that. And it kind of, in many ways, it kind of all began with Batman for me because I grew up in the 90s, and when I was a very small child, Batman the animated series was on air, and I watched that like crazy as a kid. And my parents got me some of the toys from that series. And so I would say my all-time favorite thing that I have in terms of Batman toys or action figures is actually the Batman action figure from the animated series,
Yeah.
which I still have somewhere in this place.
One of the best shows on one of the best shows on television was the Batman animated series, and the movies that came out from it, The Mask of the Phantasm, still is one of the best films. Uh, I think it's like one of the best Batman films,
I agree.
and I think as a kid I wore out the DVD, or not the DVD. I wore out the VHS, watching it constantly. Um, and then of course I did the Phantasm costume. I have to upgrade it a little bit. The hood doesn't fall nicely,
Oh,
so it kind of flops over. But one of these days I'll get it to I'll have to fix it up and put some wire around it or something.
Really cool.
But
So in my office on campus, I work at a college. For those of you who don't know, I'm a English faculty member at the University of Arkansas at Hope and Texarkana, which is basically the most podunk branch of the University of Arkansas that there is. But in my office, I actually have the I can't remember the company, but it's a more recent one. Who did action figures of Batman the Animated Series, like for adults with the more articulation and detail and all that. I have Batman and the Phantasm from that movie in my.
oh wow.
So that's one of the fun things. No
uh,
one gets it, which is sad to me. Like, obviously, they know who Batman is.
yeah.
None of them really know who the Phantasm is, which makes me sad.
I know, and it kind of makes me sad that like a lot of people didn't recognize. Well, I mean, okay, the people who are huge fans of the Batman series knew. I actually went when I was walking down Artist Alley. I actually saw one guy going, "Oh my god! Oh my god! It's the Phantasm!"
That's so cool.
And then, of course, I got my picture. I had to go up to him and get a picture taken with him because I'm just like, no, that made my day. And but a lot of people didn't really know who I was as I was walking around the rest of the convention. And it was funny because I was also hosting the Jedi lightsaber duels at that time. So yes, of course I did not fit, but it was fun to battle people as I was like trying to block with my sight.
That's fun. That's fun.
And of course I got my butt kicked by kids, but
as is to be expected. Yeah.
And other costumes. I don't know if you dressed up in any of the characters.
Let's see. I have cosplayed again when I was much younger than I am now. Back in my undergrad and high school days. I haven't done it in a while. I would really like to because I really enjoy cosplaying, like the idea of cosplay, and I've done things like I wrote a play about cosplayers and things like that. But the problem for me is just the expense barrier again. Like, I don't want to do something that looks lame. And if you're going to do something that doesn't look lame, you have to invest some cash into it. So that's the issue.
Yeah, I know the Ruby's costumes are kind of iffy when it comes to the Batman stuff. Like I do have like the Harley Quinn costume. I did at one point have the Ruby's version of this costume.
Okay.
I went out and bought like when this series came out, the Barbie Batman or superhero line came out. I bought as many as I can. I'm still missing the Wonder Woman though.
Aw.
And then I don't know. I must have a thing for Batgirl. But yeah, the Ruby's line was it's kind of like they kind of reversed the colors though, but that's
that's a bummer.
But what can you do? I'd like to take the costume and like deconstruct it and remake a costume of it eventually. When will I have time?
Yeah, that's the other problem with cosplay is the time it takes to invest in it. Yeah. So again, I really I respect you. I respect Kelly and Crayley, right? All that they do, and Andrea and everyone else on the network, but I just haven't been able.
I try very hard not to do things last minute, but unfortunately, it's like a month away for my Comic-Con. And what do I have planned? I want to do a Gozer costume from Ghostbusters, but I might have to put that on the back burner. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I get it. I get it.
But so trying to think. Okay, so Batman came out May 1939. I don't know why we're actually celebrating Batman Day in September. It just happens that the WB just decided, hey, well, we're gonna do Batman Day in September and celebrate it. They,
It
sorry, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
It could be that even though the cover says May, it came out in September because sometimes they would do that, especially in the Golden Age. They would
Oh,
put like a much later month than when it actually came out. So I don't know for sure. That's just my guesstimate of maybe why that is.
they gave Batman his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and that was just unbelievable.
That's funny to me. Just like Godzilla,
Um,
another fictional character that has a star.
uh, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to ignore the people in the chat. Uh, Donna Carlene says, "Don't forget to like and share, folks. Please do." Blade Thesis, hello. Carl says, Blade says, Carl, you are a fan of the old Batman costumes, especially the women. And he said, yeah, Carl says, of course. Just the humor and campiness of the appeal to young Carl. Okay, Carl, I have something for you. You are going to laugh at this.
Hello, citizens. I'm taking a holiday from crime fighting in Gotham City. No rest from danger, though, because all around us is that deadly daily danger, traffic. I admire the way all you British children triumph over this danger by learning and using the road safety code, like curb drill. Before crossing the road, you stop at the curb, look right, look left, look right again, and then only if the road is clear, walk quickly across. Now, children, how does it go? At the curb, stop. Look right, look left, look right again. If all's clear, walk quickly across. Remember, be smart, be safe. Always do your curb drill.
That was great.
I came across that video a while ago, and I'm just like, no, I have to show it today because why did we not have that when like in Canada or even in America? I don't know if you guys had anything like that, but it would have been so much better to see Batman doing stuff like that as little clips during his show. But I don't know.
You got
Thinking about
some
all
of that. You got some of that in the 60s show. Not like there was a couple of times where like Batman will stop whatever he's doing and like notice that someone is jaywalking and like give them a lecture on why jaywalking is illegal because it's dangerous, et cetera, et cetera. So that kind of it fits with the tone, but you're right.
The thing that I like about the 66 Batman was, yes, I love the camp, but there was a lot of nod to a lot of the theater, comedy theater, a lot of slapstick and some of there was actually skits that were done, some comedy skits that were done. I remember one episode where Gordon answers the phone and he's like, you don't say, you don't say, you don't say. And then he hangs up and Batman's like, what did they say? Who was that? They didn't say, you know. So yeah, stuff like that. Like I love the camp of that show. I love the costumes of that time. And I think learning about the character, like the actors now, kind of ruins a lot of the mystique of the show, a lot of the magic. But I don't know. I had an opportunity to meet Adam West, so that was really fun. And of course, the '66 Batmobile will always be my favorite.
It is so cool.
I had a chance to meet the guy who designed it too.
Cool.
And so sadly, George Barris had passed away like a couple years after that. But the fact is, I still got to shake his hand and tell him how much I appreciate his work. And of course, he like designed several cars of our like I want to say our childhood, but he did the Munster Coach, the Dragula. He did. I believe he worked on Kit from Knight Rider. So yeah, it was just like he has a whole slew of cars that he's done, and there's lots of people in the chat. So yeah, and then hello and welcome, Professor Thompson.
Thank
Brian
you.
Ronman. Hey, yes. Speaking of Brian Ronman, he allowed me to use his art for the background, and as soon as he posted it, I'm like, can I please use it for my show?
It looks so cool.
It is fantastic.
It is so cool.
He does an amazing job. So guys, look at Brian Rodman. You guys have to follow him on social media and buy his book. And nice to meet you, Professor Thompson. Glad to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
The safety film.
Yes,
yeah.
It is a cool safety film.
Wait, in Britain, shouldn't it be left then, right then?
Good question.
I don't know. Good evening again, folks. Hi, Joe Bachman. Welcome here. So yeah. What was you watched the majority of the cartoons that came out, right?
Yes. Yes, very much so. I think I've seen pretty much at least a couple episodes of every Batman animated series that has ever existed. So yes, I've seen pretty much all of them. Yeah.
I think I haven't watched all the episodes of most of them. I tried watching like the Harlequin one, the newer one, and I couldn't get into it.
That's the only exception. I forgot about that one. Yeah, that's the only one I haven't watched any of. Yeah.
The animated series will always be one of the best shows, and then I loved the one where like the Next Generation of Batman. I really like that one too.
Batman Beyond.
Yes.
Also known in the UK and possibly for you in Canada, I'm not sure, as Batman Tomorrow.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that tidbit.
Yeah, that's actually originally what they wanted to call it everywhere. But in America, with the way that they did like their advertising at the end of the episode, like they thought that it would be really confusing to hear like next week on Batman Tomorrow. Like they thought it would really confuse, I guess, dumb Americans. And so they didn't. They changed it to Batman Beyond in America.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, so I, grew up in America. So to me, it's always Batman Beyond. But I have to admit, like Batman Tomorrow kind of makes more sense as a title for what that series was. But oh well.
And trying to think. So there's all the Batmobiles.
Yes.
I as much as I love the animated, like the original animated series Batmobile, yes, the Tim Burton ones were really cool too. The '66 Batmobile will always be my favorite. It's kind of sleeker and I don't know, more practical, I guess.
And also, frankly, more fun in a lot of ways. Like
Uh,
it just looks so cool. Like it really does. Like I got to see it in person, or at least maybe not the original one, but a model of it in at a Comic Con one time, and it's just so cool. Like it really is.
there's a guy that I follow on Facebook, and he actually makes the 66 version for like clients, and he's one of these days, again, I'll win the lottery and spend it on one thing.
There you go. Well,
Uh,
that's a gift that keeps giving because you could make some money off of that at car shows and things like that.
oh yeah,
So there you go.
that is one of my plans. I keep trying to convince my husband to give me his Dodge Monaco so that I can turn it into the Bluesmobile, but he's like, nope.
There you go.
It's like, come on, think of all the money that we could be making. Oh. And the different versions of Batman. I love that animated style. That's really cute.
It is
And,
fun. Ah, the symbols.
I don't know. I think the the animated one is really cool. The Dark Knight one is really cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Although I kind of like I'm kind of torn because the Batman Begins one is also really cool,
yeah,
and they changed it a little for the Dark Knight, and I'm not sure. But yeah, it's
yeah, that's
cool.
definitely not all of them, but
No, not by any stretch. There's just so many of them. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what got me into Batman. I think it was I think it was the animated series and the Mask of the Phantasm. Uh, although collecting comics was kind of like I was a comic collector, but I don't think I collected the comic books of Batman until like later on in well into my adulthood. Um, but yeah, I was too into like the Archie stuff when I was a kid.
Hey, that's still comics. That's still a big part of comic book history.
Archie, Sonic.
Yeah, exactly. Whether you want to admit it or not, I mean, that is the Archie comics are a huge piece of comic book history.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, but oh, the series was too short-lived. Yes, it was.
Well, I think they're actually talking about the
But
Birds of Prey
oh,
series. That was one
yes,
season long. It was a live action thing.
yes.
Yeah. It's really sad to me that there has never been like a great adaptation of the Birds of Prey comic series because
there really hasn't been a good adaptation of Suicide Squad either. Let's be honest.
No, not really. Sadly, again. Yeah, like they just no one seems to, I don't know, care about those characters enough. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not the fans, but I mean, like the people making the movies. None of them seem to care enough about Babs and Black Canary and Huntress to really finally get their act together and pull that off. So,
well, okay. The first film of Suicide Squad. Yes, it was well done in a way, but
I wouldn't say that.
I'm trying to be nice.
I know.
Although it's funny because the one of the actors is that played one of the bad guys. He's from Winnipeg, and he's like, "Yes, I'm going to be in this movie," and then he gets killed in like the first 15 minutes of the film.
I
was like,
yeah,
hey, at least he's in the film.
Yeah.
But and then the second one, I think the best part was like some of the fighting scenes. for the second one.
Well, James Gunn is good at doing those.
Yes.
So that would make sense that his suicide. I actually didn't see the sequel. Or it's not really a sequel, right? It's like a soft reboot, kind of.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I probably should at some point, but I haven't.
I do like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, though. She
I
did
do
a really good
too.
job.
I do too. I think that the problem with those movies was not the casting. I think the casting was actually really solid.
The
I
writing.
liked her. The writing, and it could also be, that first Suicide Squad movie, it was kind of taken away from the director in editing, right? Because what happened was he was making a kind of like dark, edgy type movie that would have, like, for instance, really gotten into the abusive aspects of the Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship.
Yeah.
And the studio kind of freaked out because they thought that that wasn't going to go well with people. And so they kind of yanked it away from him in editing, and they made a whole new cut of the movie that he didn't approve of, that was made by, other editors, and they made some cuts, and they reworked some things to make it pretty radically different from what he wanted it to be.
I did not know that. Thanks for the tidbit on that. Huh?
Yeah, like there's a movement. It never got as much traction as like release the Snyder cut, but there's a movement to release the director's cut of Suicide Squad to see if it would have actually been a good movie. I don't know, to be honest, if it actually is a good movie or not. It's just, but at least just know that the movie we got was not his movie.
Okay. I haven't seen like the second Joker yet. I watched the first one, and while it was a good movie, for me, it just felt like it didn't feel like it portrayed the Joker in a way that, I don't know. I could be wrong. I know a lot of people liked it. It touched a lot on like the mental health side of it.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. Like, the more I've thought about that movie, the more issues I have with it, from like an adaptation standpoint, because you're right. Like, that message, I actually think is really important. And I think it is really, really, haunting and disturbing for good reasons.
Yeah.
Like the idea
if
that
they didn't call it the Joker, I think I probably would appreciate it more.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah. Because that idea that like society collectively creates villains by how we treat people who are mentally ill.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a powerful message. The issue for me is like they took the character of the Joker and they got rid of like all the things that make him an interesting character to people, right?
Yes.
Like, that's what bothered me. Like that, like, again, there are lots of different interpretations and versions of Joker, and that are going to be widely different from each other. But the thing to me that always stays consistent is that the Joker is actually a threat, right? Like, he has a very high level of intelligence.
Yes.
That makes him scary, right? And that he's this unhinged person who has this high level of intelligence and is able thus to do these really large scale, frankly, terroristic acts, right?
Yeah.
And that's an issue. This guy is never going to be a criminal mastermind.
No.
Like, he's not.
I don't know. The way they portrayed him in the animated series, will always be like it in my mind, ingrained of who the Joker is. And I can't read a comic book now without hearing Mark Hamill's voice.
Yeah. Yes. He is the voice of the Joker, 100%. Just like I can't read like a Batman comic and not hear Kevin Conroy. To me, he is the voice of Batman. So yeah, but that is also like it was my first introduction to Batman, and it's still my favorite version of Batman, the animated
Mhm.
series. That I think is the peak Batman. For me, I know
Yeah.
people. There's so many versions of Batman that everybody has their favorite,
Yeah.
but for me, that is the best Batman.
Yep. Oh, most definitely. And I still, the fact that Kevin Conroy went to Juilliard and he was in the same class as Robin Williams.
He was
That
roommates with Robin Williams at one point.
and
Yeah,
and he was I think he was in the same class as Christopher Reeves too.
yeah, they were all in the same cohort. Yeah, great
And
actors,
it just
really amazing actors.
it now it's like realization of all three of them have passed away, and it's just like
Yeah,
breaks my
it's very
heart.
sad.
But just knowing that he was in Juilliard, and I know that he's done like so much other work, but the Batman, like him portraying Batman's voice will always be like probably the most he's going to be remembered for.
And he was very okay with that, right? Like, I don't know if you ever got to see him in person.
No, I watched a lot of interviews with him though.
Yeah, I got to meet him at Dallas Comic Con one year when he was there. It was really special. And I also went to his panel, and I got to see him in 2 different panels in 2 different years there. And he was just like one of the most just happy human beings I have ever met. Like, he was so optimistic, and he wasn't just an optimist, like he was an encourager. Like, his panel was literally like a motivational speech. Like, he was just such an amazing person. And it was one of those moments for me that was so great because his work on Batman mattered so much to me. And sometimes you have these celebrities who play these characters that you love, but then you find out that the actor is a less than heroic type person. Like, it'll always mean a lot to me that Kevin Conroy really was just an amazing human being. And like, some actors get angry about being associated with like superhero characters. He totally embraced it, right? Like, he was very happy with what he did as Batman, and he was okay with the fact that that was all people would remember him for.
And I love that fact that there are actors out there like Julie Newmar. Like, she embraced the fans, and I had a chance to meet her the same time that I met Adam West. And she looked at me like I was dressed up as my version of Harlequin, and she looked at my outfit and she goes, "You look amazing," and she gave me a hug.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she was such an amazing person to talk to. There are certain actors that I can sit for hours just listening to their stories. And I asked her like one question, and it was like a half hour later. I should probably let you go to meet other people.
There you go. That's cool. That really is cool.
And I heard a lot of good stories of the woman who played Batgirl in the '66 series too. And I chickened out when she was in Winnipeg to shake her hand, and it was like a year later she passed away. And I'm like, I regret.
Yeah, I get that. She
but,
was, if memory serves, she was the first actor ever to portray Batgirl.
Yeah.
I think at that point nobody had played her yet, so that was cool.
And apparently there's a museum in Gatlinburg that has the '66 Batmobile and Batgirl's motorcycle. I'll have to make a note of visiting that museum.
I assume that's Gatlinburg, Tennessee. That just gives me another reason to go back to Tennessee. Well, hey, I've been thinking about that for a while. There's a lot of stuff in Tennessee, a lot of people I'd like to visit, and things to do. So maybe one day.
Well, and I know that there is a TV museum down in the States. I wish I could tell you where it was off the top of my head, but right now I can't remember. I wish that we in Canada would have a television museum because there's so many sets that I wish to visit. Like down in the States, you guys have the Cheers set at a museum, and to be able to go visit these like the apartments and the businesses of your favorite shows, I would love to do that.
No. Well, the problem is though, America is so big that all those things are so scattered around, right?
Yeah.
That's part of the issue.
Chicago. That's okay. I thought it was in Chicago.
Chicago. Yep.
I just didn't want to say it just in case it was wrong. Like I know that I think I knew that that's where the cheer set was. I wasn't sure if that was, but yeah, no. And it gives me a reason to visit the States. But I know it. I know a lot of the Batman stuff was filmed on a set, but some stuff was filmed on like in locations. So in what was it, California? So there's like little areas of California that you can go see, and they have signs up that Batman location or.
Yep, exactly.
The Chicago Museum posts a lot of videos too. Okay.
So you watch the videos.
I know that the WB does hold tours on their lot as well.
They do, yeah.
And so I definitely want to go visit that.
It's a fun time. I have done that before.
Yeah?
No, it is a fun time. Yeah. I don't think, at least when I went, they didn't have a lot of things related to superhero movies on display, but I did get to see like the set of the Whoville from How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one, was still standing, and I got to see that, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, interesting. Little tidbit about that movie. A comedian named Christopher Titus. His studio that he hosts that he hosts his podcast at actually was used in The Grinch as the Grinch's lair.
No, that's cool.
So, he talks about that every so often, and I think he actually had the guy who owns the studio come in and talk on his podcast too. But of course, it doesn't look anything like the Grinch's lair anymore. But they said that every so often they'll find stuff still left over from that set.
That's fun. I don't know, man. Like, if somebody filmed like part of the Grinch's lair in my office, I don't think I'd ever turn it back.
Oh.
I think that would just be my office from now on, is the Grinch's lair. Like, that would be amazing. Oh.
Like my city, we have a lot of movies that come here. Sorry, my chair is broken. But yeah, we have a lot of movies that come here and film, and Nobody 2 was filmed here. So every so often, like I'll go to a movie and be like, "Oh, that was I know where that is." I spent like the whole film just pointing out where the location was.
That's cool. No, I've never had that experience because I've never lived anywhere. Well, okay, I take that back. I live in Texarkana now, which is where they filmed like Smokey and the Bandit parts of it, and that's part of the movie for any of you who know what that is.
Okay, yeah.
We have a couple other movies that were filmed in Texarkana, or at least partially filmed in Texarkana. So there is some of that. Texarkana is a really weird city in that it is had these bizarre points in which it's come up in like media film history. Like it at one time was a bigger deal than it is today. Like back when railroads were a big thing, this was one of the central hubs. And so, like, during World War II, almost every US soldier passed through Texarkana, like on their way to be shipped off. And like Orson Welles came to Texarkana one time and did like a radio show here, and just odd stuff that just pops up about this town.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
The whole Orson Welles thing. It's funny. Winnipeg actually has a connection to like, so it's like we were a huge theater hub, and so we had like a lot of the silent film actors before they became silent film actors passed through here, and an old hotel that unfortunately is no longer around actually had a famous actor, and I'm blanking on the name right now, but it was big for that for a while, and unfortunately the hotel itself has burnt down.
As often happens.
And like which sucks because there was a huge mural on the wall of it, and it's like when they were going through the rubble, the mural was like the wall of the mural was still standing for a while, and then I guess when they were cleaning up, they decided to take it down, and it's like, you could have saved it.
You could have. Yeah, that's sad. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And I mean, like it lives on in pictures, but it's just not the same. You almost want to say like contact the city and say, hey, can we like rebuild this and have it repainted?
Yeah,
just for the memory of it. But Blade says the Grinch makes me think of Jim Carrey, which makes me think of when I played the Riddler in Batman Forever.
AKA the best portrayal of Riddler ever, in my humble opinion. I know that some people can't stand that movie, but I really enjoy that movie on a number of levels.
I liked it. I think I liked it better when I was a kid. Now knowing like certain details, but I have certain issues with that film because of the fact that, and even the Val Kilmer version, like it's some of the actors did a really good job in both films, and then there's like a few actors that just feel cold, and just I don't know, just there's no feeling toward it. Uma Thurman playing Poison Ivy. I don't like her version of it. I love the costume. But I'm not a
There's so many costumes for her in that movie. They've got to have spent like a quarter of their budget just on her wardrobe in that movie. It's
kind of like how I felt about Gotham.
I was not a huge fan of Gotham. Yeah,
okay.
I feel you there. My issue with Gotham, though, okay, I have a couple issues with Gotham, but the biggest one was just the, and this is just completely a personal thing for me. Like, it's totally a matter of taste. Just how far they kind of leaned into the macabre, like, was just too much for me. I have a tolerance threshold with that sort of thing, and they just crossed the line at one point, and I was out at that point. But there were things I liked about it. Like, I liked Selena. I liked what they did with her. I liked Bruce, frankly. I thought that was the actor doing him was well done. I liked the Penguin a lot, actually. I think that their version of the Penguin was one of the best, actually.
Yeah.
So there you go. I've said complaints and then
my issue with Gotham, I think they introduced too many characters all at once. And like the first season, like they introduced the characters, and that was great. And it's like, okay, let's see where this goes. I'm excited for this. And then all of a sudden, I think they wanted to get too complicated all at once. They got too complicated with each of the characters all at once. When Suicide Squad came out, suddenly they wanted their own version of Suicide Squad, and then making Gordon's wife into a Harley Quinn-esque character. That's where that's kind of where it felt like it started to fall apart.
Yeah, it just didn't work very well, that part. Yeah. I mean, there's other things like there's a character in that series, Harvey Bullock, who is a very established Batman character, but not necessarily one a lot of people think about. If you're not a fan, you probably don't even know who that is. Harvey Bullock is a cop, often a detective on the Gotham City Police Force. The problem I have is like, and again, this is just a personal thing. I'm really sick of adaptations making him a dirty cop, because that seems to be like what every adaptation, starting with Gotham, and then after that, like Caped Crusader did the same thing. They just make him a dirty cop. And the thing is, when Bullock first came out, that was the exact opposite of who he was. Yeah. Like, he was such a like by the book guy that he hated Batman. Like, he couldn't stand that the police was working with Batman because he was so by the book. Yeah. And it just it baffles me how we got from that to him being just a dirty cop. Like that baffles me. But I blame Gotham for it because they were the first ones to do it. Yeah.
No, and like I was looking forward to seeing where they were going to go with the Riddler's character, and then the Penguin. The guy that played the Penguin was an amazing actor, and I was looking forward to seeing like where they were going to go with one of the female actors, like the crime boss, Fish Mooney. Yeah. I wanted that story to be so much better than what it turned out to be.
It was just it just took such a left turn, and then it just kept going downhill. That's actually one of the main reasons that made me stop watching, was what they did with her character. It was not great.
That's what that's exactly why I stopped watching, was because it was like all over the place for me. And then of course they tried doing the spin-off of Batman's caretaker,
Alfred.
Yeah. And again, another series that could have gone somewhere had they stuck to structure.
Yeah, that's a hard thing with TV. Well, any media, like we talked about, especially if people start interfering, right?
Yeah.
If you have too many
consistency and structure, and having someone who knows the characters, there needs to be someone who is paid specifically to like research the characters and be like, okay, this is the character, this is what the character is like, and let's stick to this story,
Yeah. Oh, sad.
I mean, Hollywood, you can hire us nerds.
Like I'm available. You can reach me if you want me to write you something. That was actually one of the coolest projects I ever got to do. Was not an official project, but a couple years ago with the Multiverse fundraiser, which you and I both are on staff at, I got to do the Batman radio drama that was so based on the first appearance. It was really fun. It was really cool, and wouldn't have happened without you, because you were doing the sound effects for
and
us.
I had so much fun doing it. Like, okay, I failed at this play, but I still find it to be a success, because I was the one who did the music and the sound effects for it.
There you go. Still a part of it.
still one of my as much as it drove me nuts not to actually be on stage with the actors. I still consider it a success in my mind.
Good. I'm glad.
So I have fun with that stuff. I love doing audio and visual editing, as much as it can drive me nuts. Especially when a program doesn't work the way I want it to.
Yes.
And then having to work with like 2 or 3 different programs just to get something to look in my vision. But
now we talked about sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Nope, go ahead.
I was going to change the topic, so I want to make sure you got everything out.
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. We've talked a lot about like animated adaptations and some TV show adaptations. What is your favorite comic book version of Batman?
That's a good question. A lot of people will refer to The Killing Joke as their favorite, and I think that has to be one of the best ones. Although I know that was like the best one for Joker, but I don't know, something about The Killing Joke did a really good job for both characters. And then unfortunately, like again, I should be reading more comic books than paying attention to TV.
It happens.
But I'm gonna pass that off to you, and so that you can talk about the comic books.
Oh, that's hard. Now you're gonna pass it back to me. I have a very complicated relationship with The Killing Joke. I won't go into that rant again because there are other podcasts where I talk about it on my show and other places, and I'm sure Kelly and I will talk about it again when we get to it in our comic story podcast. But that I will say that what used to be right before they did a bunch of the reboots, the quote unquote mainstream Batman, right, from post-crisis till they did the New 52, that is kind of my default favorite comic book era Batman. But I also think I am a little bit more partial now to actually like the original Bill Finger, Bob Kane run. There's something about those comics that I just really like. The old school, right? The OG. I'm really glad you got a picture of Bill Finger. That's meaningful.
I know that there was a history between the two.
There is, yeah.
And we'll have to touch on that another time, I guess.
Sure.
But...
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I really like that run. Like, I like those original comics. I really like, as dorky as it is to some people, like, I do teach that some of those comics to my students, and I always joke with them about the Batman costume in those series. Like, man, those purple gloves, right? It's so cool. But like, I really do like it. Like, I don't know why, but I do think the original costume design and the way that like the mask looked, that's different from today with the more kind of angular ears and everything. I just think it's cool. I just think it's a cool run. And I like Batman in that time period of like the 30s and 40s. I just think that's a really cool time period to set a Batman story. And to
do you prefer him with a gun or without? Because I know that at one point they tried giving him a gun, and
in the early comics he definitely carries a piece. He's got a pistol and he whips it out a few times. There's also this this scene in one comic with Hugo Strange was one of the villains in that first run. And he creates at one point these things called Monster Men, which is basically he roids up some henchmen and turns them into kaiju. essentially like these giant skyscraper size giants. And there's a scene in one of those comics where Batman is in the Batplane and he's fighting the monster men with like a Gatling gun on the Batplane, and he actually has this like thought bubble that says, you know, I really hate to kill people, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And then he's mowing them down with the gun. Like, it is just a very different take, right? On that's okay. It's just a really different take on Batman than most people are familiar with the using guns and killing people and that sort of thing. Some people are into it, right? Like, some people, that's the thing that bothers them the most about Batman is his no-kill rule. I actually think that, to me, has become one of the most meaningful things about Batman. So that's a really roundabout way of not answering your question. But the bottom line, even though I really do like that run, I do ultimately think that Batman not using a gun really makes the most sense for the character. Like, I think it was I think it was Denny O'Neil, but I might be wrong about this, who said like that was one of the things that would never make sense to him of that character using a gun, because the fact that he saw his parents shot to death in front of him as a child, like, it just doesn't make sense that that kind of person would then use a gun as an adult.
And so, I completely agree with that. Like, I like how they have taken the character to a different level. I am so sorry. I was trying to add a picture using my cell phone, but
that's
I'm
okay.
gonna just get out of that.
Technology.
That way it doesn't mess with the stream. But no, I like the fact that they allowed him to do the research on the people that he's fighting, so that he knows how to handle them in a more constructive way, I guess.
Yeah, I just really like that. Again, it really bothers some people, and the moral debates keep going, especially about the Joker, right? About why doesn't he just kill the Joker? And there is no
the moral standpoint of they need to get their justice.
Well, just the age-old argument of like the Joker is not going to stop killing people, and obviously he can't be contained forever, right? And so the kind of rationalistic argument is that the most logical thing to do with that person is just kill him. Like, there's that one cartoon, I don't know if you saw it, but there was this issue of, I think, Mad Magazine that did like Batman and all these other famous comic book writer styles, and one of them was Peanuts, and it was like Batman and Superman, like Charlie Brown and Linus, like talking on the fence, and Batman asks Superman, "Do you ever think about killing your villains?" And Superman goes on this long rant about, "No, we can never do that. We'll be as bad as them." And then Batman says, "What about the Joker?" And then Superman says, "Oh, him. Yeah, you should have killed him years ago." It's like, but like, I do think that's like the point, I think, of Batman is that Batman is a character who is completely opposite of like what he appears to be. Like, a lot of people have commented on this. He looks like a supervillain, right? Like the costume looks like a bad guy.
Yeah.
But he's the good guy. And you would think, like, given the backstory that he has, that he would turn into somebody like the Punisher. Right. But he didn't. He turned into somebody who values human life so much that he won't even kill someone like the Joker. And to me, that's what makes him so compelling. I can't remember who it was again. It was some exec at DC at one point in time. But he said you can look at Batman either as a deeply disturbed person who is trying to work out his trauma in what he does, or you can see him as a modern day saint because of just how incorruptible he
Yeah.
is. And to me, again, I do sometimes enjoy reading a Punisher story or something like that. I find that morality, and
Yeah.
specifically that it comes from the compassion, that he doesn't kill even his villains because he understands how easily he could have become like them
Yeah.
if his life had been slightly different. And to me, that again, I like heroes, so I like good guys, and so I really like
Yeah.
that.
And
that idea.
the Batman story will always be that story where, you know, me having a strong sense of justice myself, you know, would I be out there on the streets trying to apprehend people? If I was more fit, maybe. But no, it gives that dream of, you know, you want a better world than what you have. And unfortunately, I live in a city where I want to say crime is a bit rampant. And we could definitely use a Batman. But but you also have that it's wrong for people to conduct justice upon people. But if they were to work with the police as much as Batman does, and apprehend them, then it would be a different story than, you know, going out and killing them.
There you yes,
for
which
the
is
sake
the
of
big
justice.
difference. Yeah, exactly. And you know, that is part of the thing, right? Is that you know, and this is just like brass tacks public perception, right? The fact that he doesn't kill people is what makes him perceived as a hero, right, by the general public. And you know, here's a super nerdy thing. Law is not really my thing, but I did pick up a couple of things that I read of real lawyers writing academic articles talking about Batman and his role in the police force in Gotham City. And what it boils down to is that whether the police acknowledge it overtly or not, Batman is 100% like a part of the police force.
Yeah.
Like that is just
absolutely.
when you have a bat signal on the top of the headquarters, he is being recognized by the police as a part of the system. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Actually, one of the fun articles I heard about that was an argument that is definitely the case, but the police will never publicly acknowledge that because technically speaking, if they were to ever actually publicly acknowledge that Batman is a part of the police force, then all of those supervillains would sue the city because they have a right to face their accuser, and Batman would have to be able to be subpoenaed in court and, you know, have to reveal who he is and all that sort of thing. So
the argument could be used of he's definitely an informant.
Yes. There's that thing in The Dark Knight, right, where like Harvey Dent is asking Gordon about that, and Gordon says like, the police force has many independent contractors that it employs for various purposes. Speaking of that, now that we've breached like the live action stuff, what is your favorite live action take on Batman?
Okay. The 66 Batman, because that's what introduced me to the Batman world. And the Michael Keaton version of Batman will always live in my heart because of that being the first movie of Batman. Yeah, I think the two of those will always be like my favorites, my go-tos, because Gotham. I really wish Gotham was better.
Oh yes, if only. That's how I feel about the. That's really how I feel about the Snyder movies. Like, I really wish they were better than they were
Yeah.
because I think Ben Affleck was a great casting decision for Batman. I just wish he had a good script to work with.
I know there's like so many like so many actors that get into like, oh great, they're gonna portray this character, and then you have so much hope for them, and then it's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Keaton, yes, Keaton did a very good job as Batman, and I would really like to see them do a Batman Beyond movie
With him as Bruce Wayne?
yes,
I agree. I just,
or even a series, just have him,
yeah,
pop
something.
in here and there. And
I can't remember who said it. It was some YouTuber who said this, but like Batman Beyond is, if the studio execs at WB would just realize it, Batman Beyond is their way of making a Batman movie for right now that would just blow everything else out of the water. Like, Batman Beyond really is their best shot, in my humble opinion. I really think that first of all, the original show was great. Like, I really liked the Batman Beyond show originally. So there's great source material to pull from already. And then second of all, I really think that now is a good time to revisit that.
oh,
There's just
absolutely,
a lot going
and
on.
it would be about the perfect time, because it was future-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Now would be the perfect time because, well, Michael Keaton is about the right age for that.
Yeah. And there's just a lot they could do. Like the technological themes in that movie, like all the stuff going on with technology right now, it would, I think, hit there's a lot they could do there that would hit a lot of nerves right now.
Yeah.
And the idea of like the passing it on to the next generation, I think, especially when WB is trying really hard to get like Gen Z interested in their characters, like this would be a great way to do that.
Yeah.
To have a teenage Terry McGinnis Batman.
And I think at this point they'd have to hire, Kevin Smith as an executive producer because
he could do it.
He knows his. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
So
he does, yeah, especially with Batman because Batman's his favorite. So he could do it. He could do it if they'd ever just wise up. I mean, it seems like they don't know what on earth to do with Batman in their new cinematic universe.
Yeah.
So they could just sidestep that question altogether and just do Batman Beyond, and then they wouldn't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I hope for the good things in the future with Batman. I'm gonna definitely look more into the comic books, and I'll have to definitely read. I'll have to sit and look through the back issues and find some good stories to go back to. But I appreciate you coming here and joining me, so that I'm not talking by myself.
Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
No problem. I appreciate your knowledge. And everybody in the chat, I appreciate you guys joining. When he destroyed the Batcave, they did it in one take. Wow, I did not know that. Yeah. Can we do that again? I don't think.
Sounds like something Jim Carrey would say.
Yep. I know there was a lot of issues with the actors not getting along. But unfortunately,
him and Tommy Lee Jones apparently did not gel well. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're gonna get that in Hollywood, where you even get that with podcasters. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest, like not us, but I've had issues. But you guys all have a great night, and I appreciate you guys joining me. And I hope that it's not going to be another couple of weeks before the next episode. Oh, fun stuff. All right. You guys have a great night.
My name is Mark Weiss, and I am the founder and president of an organization called Comic Books for Kids. 6 years ago this month, we embarked on a journey of passion and heart. Our goal was to make a difference for children in hospitals and cancer centers. Little could we have ever imagined the response we have now. Starting with just hopes and dreams, we had no money for our mission. We had no product to give to the hospitals, and we had only called a couple hospitals and asked them, if we were to provide you with comic books, would you be interested? And they said yes. So we embarked on a 1-year journey to make a difference for these kids. We realized that even though we can't take away the reason these children are in hospitals, we can perhaps, while they are there, let them fly like a superhero, be princes and princesses, and embark on a mystical and magical journey to take them away from where they are in that hospital bed. Today, and thanks to your support, we are thrilled to say that we are now the largest charity in the U.S., supporting well over 200 hospitals in all 50 states for not only comic books, but for other pop culture items like Funko Pops, action figures, coloring books, Spanish bilingual items, backpacks, and more. When we received materials that were inappropriate for the young ones, we started a sister charity called Comic Book for Troops, and overnight, we became the largest charity in the U.S. for these same items to all branches of the military. We want to thank our friends for providing us their support and for allowing us the means to make so many happy with their gracious give to us.